So it's got this fulcrum, which is a piece of plastic through this midsole. You can probably see it shining through there, through that outsole, okay? It's this half-length fulcrum, which creates this like propulsion for a quicker turnover. And I gotta say, I kind of felt it. Butter, 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 butter. Interesting, fascinating, everybody. Never have I ever put my feet into a Karhu. Am I saying it right? Shout out to Finland. Okay, a little background on Karhu. Forgive me on the pronunciation. Shout out to the flying Finns out there. Let's do it. Everyone in Finland, are you watching out there, Finland? Let us know in the comments. Drop the Finnish flag down below. I believe we've got folks over in Finland. I would love to visit Finland someday, but Karhu is a company out of Finland. I've never tested a running shoe from this company ever before. This shoe is called the Ikoni. That's how you spell it, I-K-O-N-I, I do believe. Okay, it's got this fulcrum technology through the midsole. Karhu. Am I saying it right? You let me know down in the comments. Okay, so it was started by in 1916, okay? So a long time ago, over 100 years ago in Finland, this company in a small workshop in downtown Helsinki, okay? And begins, and this name, Absportarkilar Oy, this gentleman, begins crafting locally sourced birch skis, javelins, and discuses. The workshop eventually develops running shoes which land on the feet of Vil Ritola and Hannes Kolhemana, the first flying Finn. Forgive me on the pronunciation. Bottom line, 1916, if you're a company that has survived over a century, you're doing something right. Karhu Ikoni, shout out to you, shout out to Fleet Feet, okay? I believe Fleet Feet sent me this pair of shoes for testing. Thank you so much. Karhu, okay, here we go. There is the mileage on your screen. We're looking at 26 in the heel, 18 in the forefoot for a neutral road shoe. Not twisting very much, okay? It's a neutral shoe, but it's got some stability-esque feel through the ride. So if you need a little bit of stability help, a little bit of, just guidance through your foot strike, consider this 100%. There is the weight on your screen. Let's just confirm in my size real quickly here. Believe we're looking at 8.8, 8.9 in my size. There's my score, knit mesh, okay? Pretty standard upper, very comfortable. The heel counter is incredible. Great padding. Really nice, like really nice. If you have any irritation in the back of your heel, your Achilles tendon, I would take a look. I'd take a hard look. They really put some good thought into this heel counter, and it's pretty stout. Actually, it's very stout, but it doesn't feel hard to the touch on the inside of the shoe at all. Now, the overall score for the upper is getting a pretty bad ding because there's too much material through the toe box. It's scrunching up at the bottom of the eyelet chain right here, and I don't like it, all right? So that's why the overall score for the upper got a pretty bad ding, but the lockdown, awesome, very comfortable tongue, very close to a perfect upper, to a really solid upper, except for that scrunching through the toe box. Midsole, it's an aero foam, which is being marketed as a lighter than and more durable than EVA. Okay, I don't know much about the aero foam. If you have some information, drop it down below. But I gotta say, so it's got this fulcrum, which is a piece of plastic through this midsole. You can probably see it shining through there, through that outsole, okay? It's this half-length fulcrum, which creates this like propulsion for a quicker turnover. And I gotta say, I kind of felt it. I was a little, suspect. Whenever I see too much plastic in the midsole, I get a little suspect. That's why I'm always a little hesitant about some Mizuno shoes out there. But I gotta say, the fulcrum, it just felt quite nice. I felt like a little bit of help through my gait cycle out there in the 50 miles of testing. So Karhu, good work there through that fulcrum technology. There are my overall scores for the midsole. I was pleasant. Actually, okay, let's just hold on 1 second. I almost forgot. Let's zero out the durometer score. Hold on. Here we go. Let's just remind ourselves that is the only thing. Okay, we're getting 48, 49, so a little high on the durometer score. I think, Karhu, if we drop, it's not bad. It's not bad, but if we drop that durometer down to a 42, 43, I'd be very excited about that midsole ride. Outsole, just a plain standard rubber, nothing to write home about. Standard score for that outsole. True to size, no issues there. Comfort, again. I think it mostly comes down to the durometer. If they could drop that durometer, now that I stick my thumbs into it a little more, I think that's actually going to give the durability. Let's jump into it right now. 500 miles at least. I think that Aerofoam, I haven't taken any Karhu shoe past 100 miles, but if oh man, that would be amazing. If there's a Karhu fan out there, and let us know in the comments if you are a Karhu fan, and if I'm saying it right, hopefully, if you have a shoe that has been past 500 miles, please send me photos. info@DeMoorGlobalRunning.com. I'd be fascinated to see, just because I'm not familiar with this Aerofoam and how it will survive past 500 miles. How will I use this shoe? Daily trainer. Who is it best for? A daily trainer with a little bit of stability-esque feel. It's not a true stability shoe, but if you don't, it's definitely not a Skechers shoe, okay? This is the opposite of a Skechers shoe with respect to the neutral spectrum. All right, there you go. Price point, 140 bucks, not too shabby. 7 out of 10 there for that price point. Other shoes to buy, I think out of all the three on your screen, this was tough. Just because, again, I'm not familiar with the lineup, I'd probably put it as closest to the feel under step to the Kawana, the Hoka Kawana. It's kind of what it felt like. The Solar Glide 5, to a certain extent, the Solar Glide 5 was quite a bit heavier, but I would say the Hoka Kawana. So if you picked up that shoe, that's kind of what it felt like under step in the 50 miles of testing. Shoe quick specs one more time, and that 50-mile full review, not too shabby, 7.33 out of 10. We will take it. Lower sevens, not at, anything over 7.5, we're getting a lot more excited, but 7.33 is not too bad. Thank you again to the Flying Finns out there and the Finnish running culture for bringing this company into a brand new company in the studio. There you go. Comment of the day. Question of the day, shout out to Christian Runs New York. Thank you, Christian, for being a member of the channel. Do appreciate it. This is from the Razor XS2 full review. All right, Christian says, glad they are figuring out, Skechers, he's talking about, figuring out how to get a shoe to work well for the masses. That is right. If you missed that full review, that was one of the higher running shoe scores of 2022, the Skechers Razor XS2, published about a week ago. Christian Runs New York, thank you so much. All right, question of the day. What do you think about when you hear the word dedication? Okay, what do you think about when you hear the word dedication? Maybe it's a coach you have, maybe it's a company you follow, maybe it's a family member. All right, what do you hear? What do you think about? All right, I don't know how I came up with this question of the day, but there you have it. We will toss it to, the running shoe playlist. You know, if you're just trying to catch up on all the running shoe reviews that I've done lately, they're right here, okay? It's a big playlist. You could hit play, autoplay, and you could watch running shoe reviews for days. Like, that's how many running shoe reviews are now on this playlist right there. Just let it play, baby. Autoplay right there. All right, everyone. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.